Hi there. Welcome to Cello Tuesdays. I am Diane Chaplin. Today I'm going to be playing a program called Echoes of Ancient Voices. A couple things first. I just want to remind you that I am continuing to play live streams the first Tuesday of every month for the foreseeable future. And I also want to mention that this live stream is sponsored by the Portland Cello Project. If you are in the Portland area, please come see us November 27th. It looks like we're going to be playing our live concert at Revolution Hall to celebrate our CD release of our Prince album, which this release has been delayed for a really long time already. But please get tickets, come see us. So today's program, this Echoes of Ancient Voices, refers to music that is inspired or reflective about an earlier time. So for instance, the very first piece, I'm going to just check the stream to make sure. Come back to Wyoming, someone says. Good. We'll try. We're going to be doing some touring also in March and April, and I haven't seen the list of everywhere we're going yet, but keep your fingers crossed. Maybe we'll come visit you. So the first piece that I'm going to play is a sonata by the French Romantic composer Benjamin Godard, and this sonata was originally written for violin. I have transcribed it for cello, and I think it works very well on the cello because in general, even on the violin, it's in kind of low keys and it has sort of a dark sound to it. So Godard has sort of imagined that it has a Baroque sensibility. I don't know if you will find that. I think there's some things that sound a little bit Baroque, but really it's a romantic sonata. But he's named the movements after Baroque sonata movements. So the movements go slow, fast, and he has named them Sarabande, Rigodon, Adagio, which isn't a Baroque name, just means slow, and then Bourrée on the end. So this is the second solo, originally for solo violin, by Benjamin Godard. The next piece I'm going to play, I use a mute, which is this little piece of plastic, rubber / plastic, that I'm going to put on my cello, which dampens the sound. And this is a, next piece is a very mellow piece. It's very slow. It was written by the British composer John Tavener, who is best known for choral works of a religious bent. He was a composer during the 20th century. He died in 2013 in November, actually. And he wrote this piece in November in 1990. So this is feels very fitting to be playing it for this November concert. The piece is called thrinos, which is a Greek word related to threnody, meaning lament or elegy. And in fact, the thrinos is a very, very ancient Greek form. It is found as a lament in Homer, which is more than 2,000 years old, so in like a poetry or prose kind of form. Nowadays, the thrinos is used in the church on Good Friday. It is like a chant, kind of like a Gregorian chant, so it has music with it now. And then in a kind of a folk use, evidently people may still use it in their homes to chant over the body of a dearly departed person, a close friend actually, who has died. And in this case, John Tavener had a close friend. He was in Greece. One of his close friends in Greece died, and then he wrote this thrinos, which was originally written for the cellist Stephen Isserlis. So this is Thrinos by John Tavener. going to be doing this live stream concert next week in the old church in Portland, and it will be live streamed. I'll put links on Diane Chaplin Cellist if you want to hear it, and I'm going to do another work as well as this program. I'm really looking forward to playing that in a church with ringing acoustics, because here in my studio it doesn't ring. So the next work is another work that's based on really ancient music, and that is a work called In Manus Tuas, which means in your hands. In Manus Tuas by the American composer Caroline Shaw. She wrote this piece in 2009, and I will read you a little bit about it. So In Manus Tuas is based on a motet by Thomas Tallis. Now I'm not reading. He was a Renaissance composer known, similar to Taverner, known for motets of some religious nature. A motet being a part song for different vocal parts. So the work is based on a motet of Thomas Tallis. While there are only a few slices of the piece that reflect exact harmonic changes in the Tallis setting, the motion, or lack thereof, is intended to capture the sensation of a single moment of hearing this motet in a particular and remarkable church in New Hampshire. In New Haven. My brain said that strangely. In New Haven, Connecticut. You will note that there are what the composer calls unpitched sounds, particularly beginning and end of the piece. And I see these as kind of a veil, cobwebs, a scrim, something through which we're kind of pulling back to reveal the beauty of the work. So the final work on the program is a work that I think is a really, really important work and deserves to be better known than it is. For many of you, this will be the first time that you've heard it. This is a work by Coleridge Taylor Perkinson, who was one of the preeminent black composers in the latter half of the 20th century. He died in 2004. And I think, you know, sadly, when we think about music that is inspired by ancient voices, we don't necessarily immediately think, oh, there will be some African American music on that program. And I think that's really a shame, because this piece really brings to the fore this idea of the black ancestors that live amongst us. So this piece is called Lamentations, Black Folk Song Suite. It was written in 1973 for one of the cellists in the orchestra that Perkinson co-founded, which was called the Symphony of the New World. He co-founded it in 1965, and it was the first racially integrated orchestra in the United States. The work is in 4 movements, and each one references an aspect of traditional African American music. A quote from the composer: "The common denominator of these tunes is the reflection and statement of a people's crying out." So the 4 movements are a fuguing tune. First one's called fuguing tune, and fuguing tune is a style of church singing that came from New England down south and became one of the preeminent forms of part singing in African American churches in the South. It's very bluesy and jazzy, and you will recall that jazz music comes also from the black culture. And the second movement is the slow movement. It's called song form, and here I think we really can see this idea from the quote about the statement of the people's crying out. The marking on music is plaintively. It's very lamenting, kind of sorrowful song. Again, pretty bluesy. The third movement's called Calvary ostinato. So an ostinato is a repeating pattern. In this case, a sort of asymmetrical 9-beat pattern. And on top of it is something that has a relationship to this Calvary song, an African American spiritual, and the refrain was, "Surely he died on Calvary," which refers to Jesus dying on the cross, but it is also thought to be a veiled reference to lynching. Then the last movement is called perpetual motion, and this brings in the technique of African string instruments such as the akonting from the Republic of Gambia, which came with the enslaved people to the United States and turned into things like the banjo. And it's this sort of back and forth. In this case, it's going to be with my bow and not plucking, but this alternating fast notes that are repeated over and over. So I'm going to tune first to make sure things are good here. Okay, so these are the 4 movements of Lamentations Black Folk Song Suite by Coleridge Taylor Perkinson. heart's beating fast like it always does. I think my heart kind of beat fast through the whole show. Definitely beating fast now. So before I go, I'm going to just look at any comments to see if there's something I should address. Oh, the next live stream is in 5 weeks. I get an extra week this time to practice. And it will be December 7th, and it's called Home for the Holidays. And it kind of acknowledges the fact that a lot of us are still not out partying all over the place during the holidays. Some of us are staying home alone. Some of us always stay home alone during the holidays. So it has a certain theme of solitude with a very muted holiday cheer is what this program is going to be. Let me look and see if there's anything I need to address over here. Oh, somebody says they're learning Lamentations right now. Such a cool piece. I'm so glad. Marley, I'm so glad you're doing that. And friends, hi Daryl. Hi Elizabeth. Hi Renee, Shauna, Laurel. Lots of names there. Some that I know, some that I don't know. Thank you all so much for tuning in. See you the first Tuesday in December. But, and also, if you want to catch this program again with actually one of the works that's going to be on the December program next Wednesday, November 10th, noon Pacific time, and I will post the link on Diane Chaplin Cellist Facebook. Bye.